Morning, heathens. Welcome back to week 2 of the TCQ gambling quarter. We did pretty well last week, all things considered. There were a couple of mishaps and whatnot, but we didn't do too bad. I'm here to bring you the second week. We got a lot of love on the first episode, so I'm definitely going to keep pumping these out. And despite saying that it was going to come out on Saturday, a lot of these lines moved quite a bit from earlier in the week through all the way up until this morning. So I pushed it off, courtesy of me personally having money on a couple of these games so that I could give y'all the most accurate numbers and the best bets to put in if you live in an area that you can sports bet. So jumping right in. Indianapolis versus Baltimore. I am taking Indianapolis in the points. They are giving them 8 points, and I am taking the over at 43. Tennessee versus Cleveland. I am taking the points on Tennessee. They are giving them 3.5 points, and I am taking the under at 38. Denver versus Miami. I am taking Denver and the points. They are giving them 6 points, and I am taking the under at 47.5. New England versus the New York Jets. I am taking the not underdog on this one with New England. New England is giving up 2.5. They're giving the Jets 2.5 points, and I am taking the under at 36.5. Again, New England and the under. Bills versus Washington. Again, I am taking the team that they are projecting to be the better team. Bills -6 and the over at 43 points. Atlanta versus Detroit. I'm taking the points. Atlanta plus 3.5 and the over at 46. Interesting note on that one. Over 80% of the public money is on Detroit. And historically speaking, when over 70% of the public money is on any game, the other team is who hits. So just a thought, kind of like Colorado and Oregon yesterday. Colorado University had 80% of the public money on them, and Oregon beat the piss out of them. So, and just a fun fact. New Orleans versus Green Bay. I'm taking Green Bay -1 and the over at 42. Houston versus Jacksonville. I'm taking Jacksonville -7.5 and the over at 43.5. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Minnesota Vikings. This is an even draw. I am taking the Minnesota money line and the under at 54. Carolina v. Seattle. I am taking Seattle -5 and the over at 42. Going to be a lot of rain in this one. Should be an interesting game. Dallas versus Arizona. I'm going to keep taking Dallas until they prove me wrong. Dallas -13 and the over at 43. Chicago versus Kansas City. I am taking Kansas City at -12.5 and the under at 48. Be advised, this is a trap game. JF1 has come out, or Justin Fields has come out and said that he's going to try and play more like he plays instead of the way that they've been trying to box him into the pocket. I'm not buying it, but it's very likely that this would be the game that blew up because 12.5 is a lot of points. Kansas City's not. They might keep their foot off the brick a little bit, and Chicago might actually be able to cover this. But I'm taking Kansas City and the under. Pittsburgh versus Las Vegas. I'm taking Pittsburgh in the points at +2.5 and the over at 43. And the Monday night games, these lines can still move quite a bit, but my early picks for them, I am taking Tampa Bay +5 and the over at 45. And Los Angeles Rams versus Cincinnati to wrap it up. I'm taking the Rams +2.5 with a hurt Joe Burrow and the over at 43.5. And that wraps us up for the week 3 pick'ems. Follow, give me feedback, whatever you guys like to do. But thank y'all for tuning in, and I will see y'all next week.